They say the ultimate goal of working is getting a government job. I spent all night at an internet cafe working on a proposal. After suddenly dying, I was reborn as a national treasure level mutated black gold giant python. Honestly, being a cold-blooded animal isn't so bad. No need to study or go to work. Every day, I have people tending to my every breath. This is basically financial freedom, isn't it? In just 3 years, I grew to over 7,000 pounds. Became the king of the whole cloud top zoo, with dozens of 8-meter spicy strip followers under me. My little brothers. My only worry is not having my own built-in temperature control. If only I could evolve a warm-blooded body, I could just relax and sunbathe all year round. With everything handed to me, life with food and clothes delivered is just too comfortable. To stop myself from turning into a giant slug, I often roll around in the mud pit for a workout. Mom, look. That giant worm lying in the mud pit. It's so dark and ugly. At that moment, from the distant cable car, came a childish, squeaky voice. Ugly. Big earthworm. Where are your manners? I'm a huge 3.5-ton amphibious armored vehicle, and you're using words like that to describe me? I was feeling a bit offended. I raised my upside-down triangle head that's bigger than a water tank and looked in the direction of the voice. By the safety railing of the cable car, a little boy poked his head out. He looked about 6 or 7. He was clutching an Iron Man toy tightly. His chubby little face was full of curiosity. I stuck out my long black forked tongue and grinned a toothy, fang-filled smile at the boy, trying my best to give him a sunny smile. Wow, Mom! Look, the big black snake is alive. He's smiling at me. He's so cool. The little boy wasn't scared at all. He even started jumping up and down excitedly. The commotion caught the attention of 2 of my little brothers swimming near me. They seemed really curious about that cable car. Looks like they wanted to slither over and check it out. I slapped the water loudly with my tail and roared at them, telling those ignorant guys to back off. If the cable car gets broken, my top-grade black pork treat tomorrow is off the table. The cable car slowly approached, finally stopping at the 20-meter safety line in front of me, and came to a halt. Big Black, Big King. The little boy waved his Iron Man excitedly. I was in a great mood and crawled slowly out of the mud up onto shore. I stretched out my heavy truck-sized, muscular body. The sunlight gleamed off my black gold armored scales, glinting with a metallic, icy shine. My God, this python is enormous. It's basically a prehistoric titanoboa. Other tourists on the cable car started screaming in excitement too. Everyone grabbed their phones and started snapping away. As excited as kids who've never seen anything before. That thing must weigh at least 7,000 or 8,000 pounds. Look at the Siberian tiger in the next enclosure. It couldn't even be a mouthful for this guy.
Tell me.
Who do you think is stronger, this giant python or the tiger? A middle-aged guy with gold-rimmed glasses suddenly threw out this classic question. A young guy in a floral shirt nearby immediately jumped in. Of course it's the tiger. Just look at the speed and claws of the king of beasts. Pure killing machine on land. What's a python compared to that? Just a gigantic spicy snack. What do you know? A young woman in designer dress rolled her eyes and argued back, the python's constricting power is unbeatable. If it wraps around that big cat's neck, it'll suffocate in minutes. The tiger just looks fierce, but one squeeze and it's a dead cat. The guy wasn't having it and snapped right back. Are you dumb? A tiger could smack a python's eye out in one swipe. Could the python even hold on? Besides, a tiger has that throat bite move. One bite, and the python gets split in 2. You're the one who's dumb. The girl folded her arms, unconvinced. A python's scales can't even be cut by a knife. This snake's as thick as a water pipe. It'd definitely pin the tiger down and rub it in the mud. All right. Everyone, calm down. The tour guide hurried over with a megaphone to break it up. Both the giant python and the tiger are star animals here at the park. Each has its own strengths, and they're both very impressive. The guy just shrugged and muttered under his breath, Big earthworm is just a big earthworm. Still dares to compare with the king of beasts. The young woman got all smug when the guy didn't argue back, immediately acting all proud. That python just looks dumb and clumsy. It's nothing compared to our zoo's tiger typhoon. Constricting power? More like robbing itself. I bet it's just asking to be mugged. Hearing that, I almost coughed up blood. Typhoon is that big cat next door who usually waits his pants when he sees me through the fence. You're saying that cat could beat me? I'm the king of this whole ecological zone. 10 of those cats couldn't take me. Right as I was mentally roasting them and getting ready to show off my muscle definition again, the ground suddenly started shaking weirdly. Then a violent, chilling presence blew in from the direction of the predator's area. Danger. Extreme danger. The iron fence ahead was suddenly ripped apart by tremendous force. The previously calm tour area was startled by blaring alarms. What's going on? Something seems to be charging over from that direction. The tourists on the cable car panicked. Fear of the unknown instantly swept over everyone. Get out of here, back the cable car up. An official patrol car came racing towards us from up ahead. The security guards inside yelled at the top of their lungs, screaming at the cable car hysterically. The tiger at the predator house mutated and went berserk. It killed the keeper. It's rampaging down the main road. After yelling, the patrol car roared off straight for the exit. Mutated and went crazy. Everyone on the cable car was stunned. What's the worry? This is a sky-high cable car. It's hanging in midair. That guy who was just backing the tiger, the guy in the floral shirt, rolled his eyes. It's not like the tiger can fly. At most, it'll run by underneath. Weren't you just saying the giant python is invincible? He then turned and taunted the young woman. Let your dumb python fight Typhoon and see who's the real king around here. The young woman's face turned pale. She completely ignored him because she saw a massive shape in the woods ahead charge out like a giant yellow lightning bolt. A deafening boom shook the air. Several thick trees were smashed right in half. A terrifying mutated giant tiger burst into view. This tiger was way beyond anything humans could imagine. Easily over 8 meters long. Its shoulders taller than a giant off-road truck. But the worst part was its mouth. It had 2 half-meter-long saber teeth, and its fur bristled up like steel needles. Its eyes weren't the usual amber, but a blood red, bursting with violent bloodlust. Even scarier, this tiger's body was visibly swelling bigger and bigger every second. That's the crazy wind tiger that only eats chicken bones. This has to be a genetic mutation. That mutated saber-toothed tiger called Gale let out an earth-shattering tiger's roar. He didn't look at me. Instead, his bloodthirsty gaze was locked on the cable car full of tourists. The screams from the cable car pierced the sky in an instant. That guy in the floral shirt who was just praising the tiger was so terrified his legs turned to jelly. A warm rush ran down his pant leg. The young woman was also trembling all over from fear. She frantically tried to crawl under her seat. Everyone wanted to escape. But after the shock, the cable car had its emergency brake pulled by the operator. It was stuck, not moving, suspended in midair. Help! Move the car! He's jumping! Gale let out a bone-chilling roar. It exploded like thunder. His massive body kicked off the ground with force. Like a heavy cannonball fired from a barrel, he charged straight at the 5-meter-high cable car. A distance of just a few meters. In the blink of an eye bang, the giant tiger's paw slammed hard onto the bottom of the cable car. This several-ton car cabin was slammed so hard it tilted violently. It nearly derailed. The glass shattered instantly. Several who weren't by the window were thrown to the floor. The little boy holding the Iron Man toy, named Zhuangshuan, because of inertia, slid right out through the broken window gap. Half his body was hanging in midair. The boy's mother dashed over like mad and grabbed his hand tightly. But the cable car was still swaying hard. Gale's giant head had already reached the window. He opened his bloody mouth wide. That massive jaw, big enough to swallow 2 adults at once, went straight for the boy dangling in midair. He was highly intelligent. He knew exactly where the prey was vulnerable. This is pure carnage. Right at this critical moment, the little boy didn't cry. Looking at the terrifying maw closing in, tears welled in his eyes. But he suddenly swung his plastic Iron Man toy and smashed it hard at the giant tiger. Big black snake, run. He's a monster. Iron Man will beat you. The toy hit the tiger's tough nose. It didn't even tickle, but it enraged the brutal beast. But I was stunned. In the face of certain death for humanity, this 6-year-old human child didn't cry for his mom to save him, nor did he faint in fear. Instead, he tried to protect me, the python he calls Big Black Snake, driven by an incredibly complicated feeling that pierced through my soul from 2 lifetimes. It hit me so hard, awakening the numb heart of a wage slave. In my lost life, I was set up by others, oppressed by my boss, and no one spoke up for me. This life, I'm a cold-blooded animal, yet a human child risks his life to protect me. My icy vertical pupils instantly contracted to the extreme. A surge of indescribable rage erupted from deep in my chest. You damn mutant cat. If I don't twist you into a pretzel today, then I, Lin Fan, can write my name backward. With a roar, that didn't belong to a python at all, but more like an ancient dragon's furious bellow, I unleashed it from my mouth. My thick, muscular body launched with a jolt. All 3.5 tons of me burst out with terrifying speed for my size. Like black lightning ripping through the air, I crashed straight into that giant tiger about to bite the boy. Dust exploded everywhere. Right as Gale's saber-like teeth were about to reach the boy, I opened my fang-filled, bloody jaws and bit down hard on Gale's thick nape. You could hear the sickening crunch of bones grinding. My fangs sank deep into his flesh and blood. Gale was in agony. He let out a shrill, miserable screech. He had no choice but to abandon his attack on the humans. His massive body twisted back with a jolt, and his sharp paw slammed at my head. Look, the big black snake rushed in. My God, it's saving the kid. The tourists in the cable car escaped with their lives, crying and wailing, hands over their mouths. That guy who was mocking me earlier was now bawling, nose running, staring fiercely below. The boy's mother used the chance to pull him back in the cabin, hugging him tight, sobbing uncontrollably. But the little boy clung to the broken window, crying out loudly, "General Black Dragon, go get the monster!" A brutal brawl between 2 top beasts completely broke out in the jungle. Gale's strength was terrifying. After mutation, his muscle power was simply insane. His tiger claws were like steel blades, slashing fiercely at my scales. Sparks flew in all directions. Any normal python would have been gutted by now. But I've eaten well and slept for 3 years, and my physique is at its peak. My black gold scales let out a harsh screech, but I refused to let go. Instead, I took the chance to wrap my massive body around him. Once, twice, 3 times the terrifying constriction exploded instantly. Crack, crack, crack. I could even hear his ribs snapping. Gale struggled like mad. Fierce light flashed in his bloodshot eyes. He opened his bloody mouth wide, trying to bite through my body. Bang! His saber teeth jabbed viciously into my back. A wave of searing pain hit. Damn, that hurts. But I knew. In a python fight, you can't give your foe any respite. You have to go for the kill. My eyes were bloodshot. Every muscle in me contracted powerfully. I pushed all my strength to the max. Then, I unleashed my python's ultimate killing move, the ultimate death constriction. My body like a hydraulic press, with all 3.5 tons of weight and terrifying muscle power, squeezed tighter and tighter. Boom, boom, boom. The trees around us were smashed to pieces by our rolling bodies. Blood instantly stained the ground red. The tourists in the cable car didn't dare breathe. Everyone was praying the giant python fighting to save lives would win. After 3 minutes of intense death constriction, Gale's incredibly tough torso finally couldn't withstand the crushing pain and let out a desperate, anguished wail. His chest was forced inward by my grip.
His organs smashed.
He finally stopped resisting, loosened his grip on me. His huge body twitched on the ground a few more times. His last good eye, filled with unwillingness and terror, stared dead at me. Then finally, he made no sound again. I didn't let go. I kept squeezing for 5 more minutes, making sure he was stone dead. Only then did I gasp for air, and finally released my coils, the throbbing pain spreading from my back. I couldn't help but flick out my tongue. This mutated big cat. It was so damn hard to deal with. The big black snake won. Oh my god, it killed the monster! A thunderous cheer erupted from the cable car, celebrating survival. Everyone bowed to me through the window. The little boy Shuang Xuan even jumped up, shouting Black Dragon General. Invincible General is the best. Listening to this childish nickname, I rolled my eyes helplessly. Just now I was a big earthworm. Now I'm a mighty general. Humans sure change faces quickly. I slowly swam toward the mud pool, dragging my tired body onto the shore. The wounds need to be stopped from bleeding. Just then, in my mind, a cold mechanical voice suddenly sounded. Host detected performing heroic self-sacrifice. Collected extremely pure power of faith. Infinite devouring. Evolution system officially activated. Would you like to claim your newbie gift pack? My massive body suddenly trembled. System text. Turns out it's not lying to me. Reborn as a snake. 3 years later, my golden finger finally arrived. I suppressed my overwhelming joy and shouted in my mind. Claim it. Hurry up, give it to me. Ding! Newbie gift pack has been delivered. Congratulations, host. You've received 1 drop of ancient devouring python bloodline power. Stored in warehouse. Current constitution can't fuse it. Congratulations, host, for getting 1 bottle of basic healing potion. Congratulations, host, for getting 10 advanced evolution crystals. Congratulations, host, for getting 1 spin on the lucky wheel. Listening to a stream of notification sounds in my head, I almost burst out laughing like a pig. Even though I can't use that devouring python bloodline now. The healing potion and purification crystal are exactly what I needed. Use basic healing potion. As soon as I finished speaking, a refreshing warm flow instantly spread throughout my body. The claw marks and bite wounds on my back began to heal at a visible speed. In less than 10 seconds, I'm back to being a lively jungle bandit. Comfortably flicked out my tongue, closed my eyes and started checking the system panel. Host, Lin Fan species, mutated black gold python level 1. Mutated type, reputation, gratitude and worship. Shocked, 1,500 points, skills, death coil, venom spray. Not unlocked, system prompt. Host can collect human emotion points for lottery draws. Can also devour mutated creatures or evolution crystals. To gain evolution energy. Got it, so I need to show off more and stir things up. Raise favorability. Isn't that just influencer tactics? I'm an expert at that. As I'm immersed in the joy brought by the system. Piercing sirens and roaring engines sounded from afar. The park's armed special team and rescue helicopters finally arrived. More than a dozen large-caliber tranquilizer guns instantly pointed at me on the ground. Don't shoot, nobody shoot. He's the one who saved us. Seeing this, the cable car tourists started shouting and yelling anxiously. The guy in the loud floral shirt even grabbed a fire extinguisher and smashed it outside. Are you blind? Can't you see the python is protecting us? Get a vet quick. Check if he's hurt. The special ops captain was stunned. He received a report that the python and the mutated tiger had a bloody showdown. How come now it looks like this python became a national hero? Everyone, put your guns down. A jeep with military markings raced over, stopped at the shore. A tall woman in a white lab coat jumped out of the car. She was tall, wearing gold-rimmed glasses, a cold and beautiful woman. She carried a huge medical kit in her hand. She's my exclusive keeper and senior researcher of the ecological zone, Chu Wenchu. Chu Wenchu is a top biology PhD for wildlife research. She spent millions of her own money to improve my diet. Honestly, half of my robust muscles are thanks to her. Xiaofan, how are you doing? Si Chu Wenchu ignored the special ops attempts to stop her, rushed straight up to me, seeing me covered in blood. Her icy eyes instantly turned red. Tears fell rapidly. Dr. C.A. Shu, it's dangerous. Just went through a fight. Might be in a manic state. The captain nervously held a riot shield and shouted, "Danger my ass." I lazily lifted my head, rubbed my big head against Si Chu Wenchu's legs, and burped. He's fine. Si Chu Wenchu wiped her tears and quickly examined me. When she discovered, my wounds had miraculously healed. A look of absolute shock flashed in her eyes. But she's smart. Immediately used her body to block the wound, not letting the special ops team see. Xiaofan was very well behaved. He saved everyone. C.E. Wenchu stood up and spoke to the special ops captain. Seal off the park immediately. That northeast tiger called Gale mutated deeply. Notify the special department above. Prepare for an extensive investigation. After giving instructions, the cable car passengers were safely evacuated. As they left, that kid Zhuang Xuan didn't forget to wave to me from afar. Black Dragon General, I'll see you again and come visit you. I grinned and flicked my tongue. As a response, got myself a die-hard fan. Reputation up by 500. Damn, being a hero comes with great rewards. Later that afternoon, for saving humans, the video of the 15-meter python fighting the mutated saber-toothed tiger instantly blew up the internet. Top searches everywhere on short video platforms. All showed my battle scenes.
Especially
my final death coil, like a meat grinder, got made into meme videos. Went viral everywhere. Damn, this is a real guardian. This python is so smart. It actually saved a kid. From now on, Python's my big bro, who says snakes are cold-blooded. I'll roast them first. Chu Wenchu's personal account also blew up. She originally had only a few tens of thousands of followers. But in a day, her followers skyrocketed to 3 million. By evening, Chu Wenchu drove a refrigerated truck to my exclusive territory. The cargo hold was packed, full of top-grade black pork, whole white feather chickens, even 2 prepped yellow cattle. Xiaofan, you did a great job today. Sis brought out her entire dowry fund to treat you extra. Wenchu set up her phone for a live stream, and as soon as she started, 10,000 viewers flooded in instantly. The barrage of comments crashed the screen. Fan bro, you're awesome. Here to see the snake hero who saved people. Quick, feed our general, don't let him starve. Seeing this scene, I instantly knew this is a perfect chance to rack up reputation points. I slowly crawled out of the mud, deliberately twisted my hefty body to the refrigerated truck. Chu Wenchu tossed me a huge head of cattle. This time I didn't devour it whole as usual. Instead, with my tail. Very human-like, I pulled the cattle in front of myself, then lifted my head, faced the livestream camera, grinned, showing rows of fangs, and actually managed to squeeze out an adorable smile. I even used the tip of my tail to do a gesture similar to a heart. Damn, the snake's become a spirit. He's making a heart gesture to me. I can't believe it. Ran is laughing. Is this really a giant python? This is obviously a shy dog. The livestream room instantly went wild. Various special effect gifts were flying everywhere. Principal Wang sent 100 super rockets. Miss Lee sent 50 carnivals. With the crazy tipping in the live stream, the system notification sound in my mind kept popping like beans frying in a pan, non-stop. Ding, massive admiration points collected. Reputation plus 1,000. Ding, reputation plus 2,000. Ding. Reputation over 10,000, rewarded with 3 bronze treasure chests. While I was happily munching on scalper beef, I was rapidly opening chests in my heart. The system opened all 3 bronze chests for me, and used that lucky draw chance along the way. Ding, opened the chest and got 2 bone enhancers. Obtained the venomous fang's passive skill. Bite. Comes with potent paralytic and corrosive toxins. Ding. Won a life detection radar from the draw. Can detect mutant energy reactions within a 10-mile radius. I'm rich! I'm rich! I instantly used both the bone enhancers and venomous fangs. All at once. A series of subtle bone-cracking sounds echoed inside me. My scales turned even darker, like a ghost in the night. My body didn't get bigger, but my bones became at least twice as dense and tough. If I run into that gale again now, I won't even need to coil around it. One bite of venom would melt it to blood. Wenchu watched as I devoured the meat, her eyes full of relief, but her beautiful brows slightly raised, as if something was bothering her. While gobbling up the boar, I activated my extremely sensitive heat sense and noticed how her body temperature fluctuated slightly. She seemed scared of something. Soon her phone rang. On the other end came a deep, authoritative male voice. Wanchu, the Special Military Division just sent word. Not just Gale has mutated. There have been several reports of mutant animal attacks in the old forest deep in the ecozone. We've detected a massive mutant energy source. Something big could go down tonight. Take that giant python named Lin Fan and move to the underground safe bunker immediately. Do not stay outside. The man on the phone was none other than Chu Wanqiu's father, Commander Chu Pojin of the Jiangnan Military District. Chu Wanqiu's face changed dramatically.
Dad.
What exactly is this mutant energy source? Is it man-made? Is it another genetic mutation? Chu Pojin sighed. An international group of shadow mercenaries sneaked deep into the ecozone at the start of the Aura revival. They used special drugs to catalyze animal mutation, trying to obtain high-level mutant crystals. Gale was one of their failed experiments. Hearing this, I paused mid-bite on the boar. A chilling sense of dread swept through the cold bush. So that's how it is. I knew it. That big cat that normally wouldn't even fart. How did it evolve so freakishly all of a sudden? Turns out there's humans pulling strings behind the scenes. In my mind, a memory from the original owner's body flashed suddenly. 3 years ago, one of their companions was brutally killed by poachers, skinned and dismembered. This ecozone is my home. Even more, it's my territory. Daring to start a bioterror here on my turf, and almost got my little human fan killed. These mercs really have a death wish. They've clearly had enough of living. Chu Wanchu hung up the call, quickly shut off the live stream, and ran to me in a panic. Xiaofan, come with me now. It's not safe here anymore. She tried to pull me, but with my 3.5 tons weight, there's no way she could move me. I ignored Chu Wanxiu's anxiety, and suddenly raised my head, looking toward the deepest part of the ecozone, that pitch-black primeval forest. Because on the life detection radar I just got, countless red dots appeared, swarming in from all around like a tidal wave, surrounding my territory. And one especially huge, red dot was emitting a terrifying energy signature, way stronger than Gale's was during the day. At the same time, the stealthy hum of drones echoed in the night sky. Several blinding red laser lines cut through the darkness and locked right on my massive black-gold body. Target acquired. Top-tier mutant python identified. Immense research value. Net A alive. From the dark jungle came the cold voice of a human mercenary's radio. Immediately after, a roar, even louder than during the day, broke out, the frenzied shriek of a mutant gorilla shattering the night. The trees began to shake violently. And it wasn't just one of them.
I saw
At least 5 mutant giants over 5 meters tall, led by an 8-meter tall silverback gorilla covered in long silver fur, slowly step out of the forest. Not only are they insanely strong, but they're wielding giant trees as weapons. Seeing the countless blood-red eyes, Chu Wanchu was utterly hopeless. He went pale with despair, collapsing on the ground. I glanced at the trembling Chu Wanchu, then at those arrogant mercenaries, and the mutant giants. Instead of anger, I grinned. A low rumble came from my throat, like muffled thunder. System, Feed me all 10 high-tier mutant crystals. I devoured all the high-tier crystals. Ding! Consume 10 high-tier evolution crystals. Energy infusion ongoing. Congratulations, host, for breaking through the second-tier mutation bottleneck. Morphological transformation initiated. Evolved into an abyssal black water serpent. In an instant, violent energy exploded inside me. My body started expanding crazily under the moonlight. 80 meters, 20 meters, 25 meters. On my back, the scales were like black blades bursting from the earth, flashing with a terrifying ghostly gleam. Even 2 bumps began to appear atop my head, as if something was about to burst out. The massive tail barely brushed the ground, but instantly smashed a deep trench into it. I slowly turned around, shielding Sichu Wanchu behind me, lifting my giant head like a descending demon god toward the dark jungle, and let out a primordial roar loud enough to burst every eardrum. You want to catch me and drain my blood? Tonight, we'll see who the real prey is. Bring it on! Let the bloody carnival begin. Let's officially begin. That ancient roar kicked up a violent gust of wind. Trees along the shore were blown down in patches. Sihu Wenchu collapsed behind me, covering her ears. Her beautiful eyes wide open, she stared at my terrifying body, now swollen to 25 meters. She even stopped breathing. Meanwhile, across from us, the 5 mutated giant apes were clearly taken aback. Their walnut-sized brains probably couldn't figure out why a giant python originally only 15 meters long could suddenly inflate and grow in just a few seconds. Open fire, aim for its eyes first. In the darkness, the mercenary leader's furious howl echoed out. Rat-tat-tat fire spat from the trees. A barrage of armor-piercing rounds poured down on me like a rainstorm. I let out a cold laugh as I dodged. I'm the abyssal blackwater Zhuan snake now. Not only did I not dodge, I squeezed my eyes shut, lowered my head, and presented the hottest scales on my back to the bullets. Clang, clang, clang. A series of intense metallic collisions erupted in the night, sparks flying everywhere. Those custom bullets, capable of puncturing armored vehicles, hit my dark golden scales, but only left shallow white scratches. They didn't even break the skin. Holy crap, how is that possible? A ghostly scream came from the mercenaries in the woods. Is this a damn snake? Or a main battle tank? As they swapped out magazines, I moved my massive 25-meter body, which showed no signs of sluggishness from growing larger. Thanks to the explosive increase in muscle strength, I zipped across like a black lightning bolt hugging the ground. Whoosh, I leapt right into the ape horde, sending leaves raining everywhere. The 5 mutated giant apes saw my charge and immediately grouped together, relying on their numbers. The one in front was the 8-meter-tall silverback. He lifted a massive tree and swung it at my vulnerable spot with a rank, foul smell. You, a defeated foe, dare talk about courage. I sneered to myself. My thick tail slammed the ground with a thunderous crack. Using the momentum, I spun through the air, executing an incredibly agile tactical move, perfectly dodging the giant ape's deadly strike. Then, my tail like a giant steel whip, charged with terrifying energy. Smack boom. That legendary dragon tail strike landed solidly on a nearby 5-meter-tall giant ape. That ape didn't even have time to scream. Its body was bent in half mid-air from my attack. The sound of bones breaking popped like firecrackers. It looked like a ragdoll, sent flying dozens of meters by my force. It crashed heavily onto distant rocks. No movement after that. Instant kill, an absolute instant kill. Ding killed a grade 1 mutated giant ape. Earned 5,000 evolution points. The system prompt in my mind instantly boosted my spirits. How is this a monster? This is basically a walking XP pack. The 4 remaining giant apes, including the silverback, were all intimidated by that tail's power. In their bloodshot eyes, finally flashed an emotion called fear. Too late to escape now. I suddenly opened my jaws wide and let out a deafening roar. I lunged forward, and with my massive body, wrapped around the escaping silverback. You big monkey! Today I'll give you a bone resetting surgery. Crunch, I unleashed my venomous fangs and bit down hard on the silverback's shoulder. Strong paralysis and corrosion. The toxin injected into him instantly. The silverback's gene-enhanced muscles quickly blackened and rotted from the venom. He howled in agony, gripping my scales desperately with both hands. But against my ultimate 25-meter constriction, his strength was laughable. In less than 10 seconds, the silverback bled from every orifice and died stiffly in my embrace. Killed a grade 2 mutated silverback giant ape. Earned 20,000 evolution points. Host is absolutely dominant. Intimidated everyone present. Reputation points plus 5,000. Seeing their boss instantly killed, the 3 remaining apes completely broke down. They started fleeing wildly, running in 3 different directions. I couldn't be bothered to chase them, because the real danger is in the woods, with those mercenaries holding heavy weapons. I casually tossed the silverback's corpse aside, my cold, mocking gaze locked onto a few figures deep in the trees. Retreat, retreat now. This monster is not something we can handle. The mercenary leader finally realized how dire things were. He screamed in panic. 3 modified all-terrain vehicles flashed their blinding headlights, reversed wildly in escape. Come and go as you please. Just treat my territory like a public bathroom? You really think my domain is your playground? My massive body sprang forward. My terrifying 25-meter length loomed like a mountain, blocking the escape route of all 3 vehicles. Ram it. Crush him for me. The mercenary leader was frantically slapping the dashboard. The lead driver was a real tough guy and slammed the gas pedal to the floor, roaring as he charged straight at me. I sneered, flicking my forked tongue. A contest of collisions? With my black gold scales and several tons of weight, you think I'd be scared of your tin can? I didn't dodge, but faced the SUV head-on with my massive body, like a crashing wall of size. The deafening sound of metal tearing echoed through the night. That speeding SUV felt like it slammed into an immovable steel fortress. Its front end instantly crumpled into scrap metal. The whole vehicle was sent flying by the immense backlash. It soared into the air, spinning 3 or 4 times mid-air, before finally smashing heavily into a tree trunk. It caught fire and exploded on impact. The mercenaries inside didn't even get a chance to scream. They were instantly wiped out. The other 2 cars slammed on the brakes in terror. The tires screeched out thick, acrid smoke on the ground. The mercenaries scrambled out and raised their high-explosive grenade launchers, aimed right at me. Die, prehistoric monster. 2 grenades, trailing long flames, came flying at me with a rush. I still didn't dodge, because Chu Wenchu was in my safe zone behind me. If I moved, the blast would tear him apart. I'd just have to tank it. I lowered my head, cranked my black gold scale defense to the max. Boom, the violent explosions detonated on me. A blinding flash instantly engulfed my body. They hit me, took him down. The mercenaries shouted in ecstatic triumph. From the distance, Chu Wenchu let out a desperate scream. Xiaofan tried to rush over without a second thought, but he was thrown to the ground by the shockwave of the explosion. However, when the smoke cleared, the elation on the mercenaries' faces instantly froze into sheer terror. My massive body remained firm and unmovable right where I was, except for some blackened scales on my back from the blast, with wisps of smoke rising from them. I was completely unharmed. Not a single scale had fallen off. Is that all you've got? Did you guys miss lunch today or something? I grinned widely, letting out a low, mocking growl. Then I opened my massive jaws and suddenly spewed a jet of pitch-black venom. Eat, eat, eat. The venom landed precisely on the second off-road vehicle. The tough metal frame was instantly corroded into huge holes. The mercenaries inside screamed and melted into pools of blood. The remaining leader, covered in blood, crawled up from the ground. His eyes were full of madness and despair. That's impossible. With that level of defense and toxin, even our lab's ultimate weapon couldn't pull it off.
He shakily pulled out a metal syringe from his pocket.
Inside was filled with a bizarre creature emitting an eerie green glow. You forced me into this. I'll take you down with me if I have to. Without any hesitation, he plunged the syringe into his own neck, injecting all the green liquid straight into his veins. All right then, mercenary. The leader let out a howl of agony that barely sounded human. His body began to expand wildly. His clothes burst apart instantly. Every muscle swelled up like it was inflated. A thick brown layer of keratin grew across his skin. His hands turned into bear paws covered in razor-sharp claws. Fangs erupted from his mouth. In mere seconds, he had transformed into a half-human, half-bear monster nearly 5 meters tall. Ding! Warning. Detected. Human injected with highly concentrated mutant serum. Has mutated into a Tier 3 bio-crazy bear. This creature has lost pain perception. Its strength is abnormally violent. Host, exercise extreme caution. The bio-crazy bear's eyes turned blood red, letting out a beastly roar.
It charged straight at me.
That 5-meter-tall frame still looked small compared to my 25-meter python body. But I didn't let my guard down. Because this thing was shockingly fast. Bang, he leapt into the air, and his razor-sharp paw slammed right onto my weak spot. It actually sparked, and even left 3 white scratches on my scales. Interesting. You actually managed to break through. I whipped my tail, trying to knock him off. But this monster was unbelievably agile. He somehow climbed right up my body and onto my back. Raising a fist as big as a boulder, he began pounding my head mercilessly. Bang, 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 bang. Every blow packed a ton of force. My head was starting to get a little dizzy. If the tiger doesn't bare its fangs, do you think I'm just a water snake? I'd had enough. I suddenly raised the front half of my body upright,
Taking the bio-crazy bear on my back.
nearly a dozen meters into the air. Then I used my gravity slam move and slammed both of our massive bodies hard into the ground. Boom! The earth shook. The bio-crazy bear was crushed beneath me, half its organs instantly pulverized. Before he could react, my massive 25-meter body immediately wrapped around him tightly. Ultimate death constriction. Crack, crack, crack. The monster's sturdy bones let out desperate breaking sounds. I opened my jaws wide, and my deadliest venom was injected straight into his wounds. The toxins snuffed out the last bit of his vitality within seconds. This arrogant Tier 3 bio-crazy bear, under my constriction, was reduced to a wrecked corpse, completely dead. I unwound my body and tossed his remains aside, casting a cold look at the scene of utter chaos. This is the power you brought? This is just a mere appetizer. Ding. Killed Tier 3 bio-crazy bear. Received 50,000 evolution points. Host has successfully eradicated the poaching gang, resolving the ecozone crisis. Earned a huge amount of reputation points. Reputation has surpassed the 100,000 mark. Congratulations, Host. You've unlocked an achievement. Guardian of the region. Would you like to immediately spend 100,000 reputation points to perform an advanced lottery draw? Draw. Absolutely draw. I was overjoyed in my heart. Ding! Advanced lottery in progress. Congratulations, Host. You've obtained passive divine skill, thermoregulated body. You can freely adjust your body temperature. No longer limited by cold-blooded hibernation or heat loss, weakness. Congratulations, Host. You've obtained active divine skill, elemental breath, abyssal black fire. You can now breathe ultra-hot black flames to incinerate anything. Perfect. I really want to give the system a big thumbs up. With this thermoregulated body, I'll be able to roam freely outside even in winter. I slowly swam towards Sikshu, Wenshu. He was still slumped on the ground in the distance. He stared blankly at me and at the wreckage of the off-road vehicles littering the ground and the fates of those mercenaries. His eyes were filled with shock and disbelief. Xiaofan, he tentatively called out. His voice trembled slightly, probably afraid that I would lose control. And eat him too. I rolled my eyes dramatically. I'm not some brainless beast. I slid silently up to him, my enormous body like a black wall, casting a shadow over him. Then I lowered my head bigger than a car, gently nudged up to him. Just like before, I brushed his hand softly with my cold nose and flicked my tongue out to comfort him. See, Yuanqiu's tears suddenly burst forth. He threw himself forward, hugging my rough, hard scales tightly. Ignoring everything else, he began crying his heart out. Wu Xiaofan, you scared me half to death. I thought you'd forgotten me after mutating. Did you have any idea how dangerous that was? Wu, I felt a little helpless. Why does this woman cry so easily? But for the sake of those top-quality black pork snacks, I'll let you hug me for a bit, just this once. Just then, the roar of helicopters filled the sky. Over a dozen military armored helicopters swept in from all directions, their searchlights making the area as bright as day. Countless heavily armed special forces soldiers slid down ropes to the ground, quickly sealing off the area. Leading them was someone dressed in, wearing a high-ranking military uniform. A middle-aged man with a square face and a stern expression. This is none other than Chu Wanqiu's father, Chu Pojun. Chu Pojun saw the mercenary corpses all over the ground, the wreckage of the off-road vehicles, and the mutated berserk bear that had been poisoned into a pool of black water. Finally, his gaze fell on me, the terrifying beast stretching 25 meters long, with my whole body covered in black gold scales. Even the battle-hardened Chu Pojun couldn't help but reveal a look of intense shock in his eyes. When Chu Wanqiu saw who had arrived, she quickly wiped away her tears and stood up from beside me. Wanqiu, are you all right? Chu Pojun quickly walked over, looking his daughter over up and down. After making sure she wasn't hurt, he let out a long sigh of relief. Then he pointed at me warily and asked, "Is this Lin Fan? That giant python from the ecological zone?" Chu Wanqiu straightened her chest with pride and exclaimed loudly, "That's right, Dad, it's him. Tonight we all have Zhao Fan to thank." He drove away the mutated giant ape and single-handedly took down this fully armed group of poacher mercenaries. There was even one monster who had injected berserk serum. He strangled them all.
Hearing this,
All the special forces soldiers around gasped in shock. That performance, that combat power. Damn, is this like a prehistoric mythical creature coming to life? Chu Pojun looked at me deeply. Inside my cold, vertical pupils, he didn't see the madness or bloodlust of a beast. Only calm wisdom, even a hint of disdain. That's right, I'm actually looking down on him for being so late. I already finished clearing out all the monsters, and you guys only show up now to clean things up. Truly worthy of being a divine beast that understands humans. Chu Pojun suddenly took a deep breath and actually gave me an animal. A formal military salute. Lin Fan, thank you for your contribution to protecting the ecological zone and the safety of our people. For what you've done. From today on, you will be officially registered by the Special Affairs Bureau with the code name Black Dragon of the Nation. You'll receive the highest level of privileges and protection. We absolutely won't allow anyone to harm you. As soon as I heard that title, I was overjoyed. Black Dragon of the Nation, what a badass and cool name. I love it. Most importantly, I'll receive the highest level treatment, which means my food standards from now on are going to upgrade from black pork to something even higher class? I nodded in satisfaction, and even used the tip of my tail to mimic a military salute. Whoa, he understood. Divine beast, the mighty black dragon of the nation. The Special Forces soldiers all exclaimed in awe, their eyes full of respect and admiration.
ding.
Gain intense shock and admiration from the military. Reputation points soared by 20,000. Over the next half year, my life underwent a complete transformation. The Yunding Ecological Reserve was taken over directly by the military, upgraded to a national-level special creature protection base, and as the absolute center of the base, I got an exclusive super thermal den covering over 10,000 square meters. A private giant climate-controlled lair, every day's meals, included not only the best seafood and meats, but also specially developed military high-grade nutrient fluids rich in spiritual energy. My body size started steadily growing toward 50 meters. That video of the little boy throwing an Iron Man toy at me on the cable car, and me killing the saber-toothed tiger in a rage, has already been made into a documentary. With over 1 billion views online, I, Zero, have become a true national idol. Even foreign sites are sharing my videos like crazy, exclaiming that the great Eastern nation has mastered the secret of ancient behemoths. Every day, tens of thousands of fans come to the base walls, just to catch a glimpse of me from afar. Sishu Wenchu is now my personal liaison, and my full representative. She patrols around the lair in a military jeep every day, smiling so wide her face can't contain it, thanks to my massive popularity. She was granted over 100 million for scientific research. Zhaofan, food's ready. One noon, Sishu Wenchu drove a heavy-duty truck to my lair. Dozens of military logistics personnel unloaded a massive mutated walrus weighing several tons, cut up its meat. This was a mutated creature intercepted offshore, brought here just to give me a feast. I lazily poked out my head and swallowed the mutated walrus whole. My powerful digestive system broke it down in seconds. Ding devoured mutated walrus, gained a small amount of water attribute purification energy. I gave a contented burp, lying on the specially made giant artificial beach, basking in the sun. Man, life is as lonely as snow. I sighed. No need for clocking in to work. Every day I eat and sleep, then sleep and eat. And people serve me too. This is what a true beast's retirement should be. Just as I was dozing off about to fall asleep, a shrill air raid siren suddenly tore through the sky over the entire protected base, blinding red lights flashing wildly all over the base. I suddenly opened my cold, vertical eyes, instantly filled with the grumpiness of being woken up. What the hell is going on? Can't a snake even sleep? Don't they know it's nap time? Interrupting a cold-blooded animal's sleep. Will I start to shed scales because of it? Oh right, I'm warm-blooded now. Still not acceptable. Before I could blow up, Sishu Wenchu stumbled and tumbled out of the monitoring command center. Her usually neat hair was a complete mess from running. Her face as pale as a sheet, clutching a military tablet tightly in her hand. Zhaofan, something huge happened. Sishu Wenchu's voice was shaking, filled with utter despair. The coastal defense line has collapsed. I tilted my huge head and flicked out my forked tongue. Collapsed? Hasn't it only been half a year since the spiritual energy revival? Aren't humans planes? And can it supposed to work? Sishu Wenchu turned the tablet screen around so that it faced my eyes, which were bigger than bronze bells. The screen showed a real-time image from a military satellite, just under 100 kilometers from our Jiangcheng city in the East China Sea. A monstrous 100-meter-high tsunami was rising up on the sea, and within the dark blue towering waves, a terrifying behemoth over 80 meters long was riding the waves toward us. That thing looked just like a Cthulhu nightmare. Its entire body looked like a mountain of flesh, with 8 terrifying tentacles as thick as steel columns, each tentacle lined with suckers and barbs, capable of easily crushing main battle tanks. Ding high energy alert system detected. 7th level doomsday mutant. Deep sea devil rock octopus. This creature carries deep sea toxins and highly corrosive ink. It has a powerful regenerative ability. Extremely dangerous. During this time I almost choked to death on just swallowed walrus meat. I'm only a level 2 mutant. Even though I've grown to 50 meters now, and can take on level 4 or 5 creatures, this thing jumps straight to being an 80-meter level 7 monster. Are they trying to kill me? Jiang City's 10 coastal defense lines were shredded by just one of its tentacles. Sishu Wenchu collapsed onto the ground, holding her face and crying bitterly. My dad has already led the special ops team to the front lines to hold him back. But even regular hot weapons can't even scratch him. He's heading straight for downtown Jiang City. Millions of citizens don't even have time to evacuate. My heart skipped a beat. Downtown Jiang City. Suddenly, in my mind, I saw that little boy holding an Iron Man toy, shouting "General is invincible" at me in the cable car. That boy Zhuangshuan. The kid named Zhuangshuan. His family lives in the coastal development zone of Jiang City. In my lost life, I was just a humble worker. No one cared about me. No one would even claim my body if I died. In this life, I am the guardian deity of this land. Humans buy me the best cuts of meat. They call me the national guardian black dragon. They treat me as a hero. But now, my territory is about to be destroyed by a mutant sea monster. My fans are about to get eaten by this freakish bastard. Screw you. My fans, no one but me gets to touch them. No one else could even dream of it. Roaring, I lifted my head and let out a furious howl that shattered the clouds. Roar! My 50-meter massive body shot up from the beach, black and gold scales, gleaming with a cold, deadly light in the sun. I ignored Chu-Wanchu's startled scream and smashed right through the base's giant steel gate, turning into a bolt of black lightning, and dashed straight towards downtown Jiang City. Ding! Detected. Host. Actively engaging a high-level strong enemy. Hidden main quest Wrath of the Guardian triggered. Quest rewards depend on host's battle performance and can unlock highest system permissions early. Evolve the system in your mind. The system alert made my fighting spirit skyrocket. The system exchanged all my remaining 100,000 reputation points for storm speed booster potions. Exchange successful. Host's movement speed increased by 300%, lasting for 1 hour. Boom! My body instantly burst out a blur too fast for the naked eye to track. Even with a terrifying weight of 10 tons, as I dashed now, I actually broke the sound barrier. Along the way, my huge body tore through the air, causing thunderous sonic booms. Right now, the Jiang City Sea Crossing Bridge has already become a living hell. That 80-meter-tall deep-sea demon rock octopus has already made it to land. Its mountain-sized tentacles, just one casual swing, smashed the bridge's support columns in half. Boom! The bridge deck tilted violently. Countless cars that didn't evacuate in time dropped like dumplings into the stormy sea. And Burgeon's face was covered in blood, standing on top of an armored command vehicle, shouting angrily with a hoarse voice. Open fire! Hit it with everything you've got! Don't let it take one step into downtown. Hundreds of main battle tanks and attack helicopters poured shells onto the octopus. But as the smoke cleared, that monster's skin, thick as boulder, had only a few shallow white marks. In its crimson eyes, there was a flash of disturbingly human mockery. Its 8 tentacles suddenly stretched out. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Several attack helicopters were instantly snared by the tentacles and crushed into flaming balls of scrap in midair. Next, it opened its disgusting massive mouth, lined with thousands of barbs, and spit out a torrent of pitch-black corrosive ink. Eat, eat, eat! The ink landed on the tank's positions. Even the toughest composite armor melted into liquid metal within seconds. Screams of dying soldiers rose and fell incessantly. The defense line completely collapsed. It's over. Is this really the end of humanity? Chu Pojun shut his eyes in despair. At that moment, on the edge of the fallen bridge, a school bus was wedged against the guardrail, teetering on the brink. The window shattered, and a little boy was half hanging out, gripping the window frame for dear life. It was Shuang. He still clutched that plastic Iron Man toy tightly. Tears poured down his face. Mom! Black Dragon General! The general will come save us, right? Deep-sea Demonrock. The octopus noticed the commotion on the bridge. It swung its massive tentacle, casting a shadow of destruction over everything, and slammed down towards the school bus. No, Chu Pojun, and countless survivors watching through the livestream, witnessed it all, and let out hopeless screams. Everyone thought this child was done for. At that critical life-or-death moment, a sonic boom tore open the sky, exploding from the ruins at the end of Jiang City's streets. Boom! A massive black and gold blur, hurtling with explosive power, leapt dozens of meters into the air, like a fired anti-ship missile, and slammed hard into the octopuses, tentacle attacking the school bus. Bam! The earth-shaking crash released a terrifying counterforce, rippling through the air as a visible ring of white shockwaves. That tens of thousands of tons level 7 behemoth was actually knocked off balance by my all-out hit, stumbling backward. Its massive tentacle was knocked off course and crashed hard into the ocean nearby, sending up columns of water.
And I.
Was blasted hundreds of meters back by the monstrous recoil, smashing through 3 buildings, before barely coming to a stop. My whole skeleton felt like it was coming apart. Damn it, level 7 mutant. This turtle shell is hard as hell. I shook my dizzy head, climbed out of the debris, raised my dust-covered giant python head, and stood in front of the sea-crossing bridge, roaring at that 80-meter-tall monster. I let out a provocative and scornful roar. This is my turf. You ugly freak think you can mess around here? At this moment, the entire Jiang city, even all of Zhuzhou Nation watching the live stream, erupted in excitement. It's the National Guardian Black Dragon. He's here. Oh my god. He didn't run. He's fighting the level 7 monster for us. General. I knew it. The general would come save me. Xuan Xuan on the bridge shouted through his tears. Deep-sea Demonrock, the octopus was finally enraged by my attack. Totally pissed off, it twisted its hideous head. Its blood-red eyes locked tight on me. In its eyes, my 50-meter-long body is like an oversized loach. Ceci let out an incredibly unpleasant, sinister laugh. Waving 3 massive tentacles, he slashed down at me. He moved so fast that sparks actually flew in the air. There's no way to dodge. The monster's attack range is too wide. I could only push my black gold scales armor to the limit. My body clung tightly to the ground. Come on, let's see whose head. Its iron-hard tentacles smashed brutally onto my back. It felt like a mountain crashed down on me. Crack. My prideful scales, in just one blow, splintered with countless cracks. Bright red blood began to flow thinly along the black gold scales. My body was slammed right into the ground, more than 10 meters deep. Agony, agonizing, tearing pain. But I gritted my teeth hard and didn't let out a single scream. Xiaofan, run. You can't beat him. Si Shu Wanshu's desperate crying came through the cum device. Run, I glanced back. Behind me is that school bus full of children, and the hundreds of thousands of civilians not yet evacuated. If I retreat even one step, they'll all become seafood for this monster. Run? Hell no. I cursed fiercely in my heart. With a sudden burst of strength, I actually pushed back directly against that massive tentacle and slowly climbed out of the deep pit. I'm the black dragon of the nation. Without my permission, no one gets to wreak havoc on my territory. I opened my bloody maw wide and bit down hard on the octopus's tentacle. Right at the joint, the system's elemental breath skill activated. Black flames at point-blank range. I unleashed the black fire inside me, compressed to the extreme, blasting out crazily through the gaps between my teeth. Boom! Black flames as hot as the sun's core incinerated his tentacle on the spot. The stench of roasted squid instantly filled the air. Mo Yan the octopus screamed in pain, letting out a chilling shriek. Its other tentacles whipped out like venomous snakes, shooting straight at me. Whoosh! Whoosh! 3 poisoned, barbed tentacles in a row, stabbed viciously through my stomach and back. Venom spread instantly. My vision started to blur. My body's strength was rapidly draining away. Bang! The octopus fiercely flung me and hurled me into the air. I was tossed like a rag doll, crashing hard into a broken bridge pillar. Blood stained the ground red. This time I truly couldn't get up. My enormous 50-meter body collapsed helplessly among the ruins. Even my breathing became faint and shallow. Long Chu Pojun wept bitterly, pounding his fist desperately on the command vehicle. In the live stream, hundreds of millions watched this brutal scene, sobbing uncontrollably. He's just an animal. Why is he willing to go this far for humans? Stop, please, I beg you. Run, we won't blame you. That deep-sea demon rock. The octopus looked down at me lying on the ground, with scorn in his eyes. He raised the tentacle I burned, about to smash me into pulp. At this moment of utter despair, a shocking reversal occurred. On the ruined bridge, the 6-year-old boy named Xuan Xuan didn't cry and run away. Who knows where he found the courage? to climb down from the damaged school bus. He grabbed a large emergency loudspeaker from the bus, turned on the power, and placed the cheap plastic Iron Man toy's chest speaker up to the mic. Miracles will happen when Iron Man starts up. That fiery, inspiring metal theme blasted grandly through the loudspeaker amidst the ruins. Shuangshuan's childish but gut-wrenching voice echoed across the entire battlefield. General, get up. You can't lose. You're our guardian deity. That single shout was like a spark that instantly ignited the despairing city. The civilians around, not yet evacuated, those soldiers covered in wounds. No one knows who started it, but everyone's eyes turned red, and they all shouted madly toward me, Black Dragon of the Nation. Get up, get up. A million voices roared at once, forming an overwhelming wave that soared into the sky. Countless tears, countless hopes, condensed into the purest emotional energy in the world. Ding! Detected an immense and pure force of faith. Host's reputation value has surpassed 10 million. Host's vital signs critical. Desperate nirvana mechanism triggered. Congratulations, host, you have unlocked a hidden reward. Bloodline power of the ancient sky-swallowing python. Extreme emergency. Evolve and fuse immediately. In my mind, the system blared a piercing red warning as I felt agony tearing through my belly, hearing a million desperate voices behind me. The black flames in my heart reignited into tangible black infernos. Fuse, give me full fusion now. I let out a furious roar deep in my heart. In the next second, the world changed. Buzz, an ancient, terrifying, primeval aura, suddenly exploded from deep within my collapsed body. The deadly tentacle slamming toward me, stopped barely half a meter from my head, blocked by a visible black shockwave, forcibly deflected. What is that? Everyone stared in utter shock. They saw my body, wrapped in a blinding cocoon of black light. The barbs stabbed into me were forcibly expelled. My wounds healed at a pace visible to the naked eye. Even scarier, inside the cocoon of black light, my entire form began to grow explosively, shaking the earth and sky. 80, 90, 100. When the black cocoon shattered, a being 100 meters long, like the ultimate monster from a prehistoric legend, towered majestically on the banks of Jiang City. My body grew sturdier, and the scales on my back resembled skyscrapers. No longer just ordinary black gold, but covered in chaotic patterns as deep as the stars. My head became even more imposing, with features showing signs of turning into a true dragon. Every breath I took spewed scorching black mist into the air. Purification complete. Current species is primeval titan sky-swallowing python. Tail reached ultimate form. Ultimate passive acquired sky-swallowing body. Immune to all toxins. Physical defense up by 500. Ultimate active skill acquired. Void. Devouring titan. Oblivion strangle. I raised my head, looking down at the deep-sea demonic rock monster before me, which used to be much larger than me, but was now completely suppressed by me. In the octopus's crimson eyes, extreme terror finally appeared.
He trembled and took 2 steps back, trying to flee.
I opened my wide, terrifying maw that was large enough to swallow a cruise ship, and let out an ultimate roar that made the entire ocean tremble. Roar, roar. This time, it was a true unilateral slaughter. My 100-meter-long titan body appeared before the octopus instantly, as if teleporting. Bang! I whipped my tail hard against its head. This rank 7 monster had its skull shattered instantly by my tail strike. Its entire body crashed to the ground, crushing half a street. Before it could struggle to get up, I opened my bloody maw, and it bit down on its massive core tentacle. Crack! The originally indestructible tentacle, under the ultimate bite force of the sky-swallowing python, was bitten off clean at the root by me. Green blood sprayed into the sky like a fountain. Roar! The octopus rolled on the ground in agony. The remaining tentacles lashed frantically against my sky-swallowing tyrant body, but couldn't even strike out a single spark. I sneered. Is this it? Just now, weren't you having a lot of fun hitting me? I raised that long tail, 50 meters in length, covered in chaotic dark patterns, and carved a terrifying sonic boom trajectory in midair. Dragon swings its tail. Titan heavy strike. Boom. This tail strike accurately hit the very center of its physical chassis. The indestructible skin instantly collapsed over a large area, and internal organs and mucus splattered out. It completely lost its ability to resist, collapsing in the ruins like a pile of rotten meat, gasping for its last breath. But I didn't intend to let it go just like that. This beast almost killed my little human fan just now. It must die until not even a shred remains. I stood before its broken body, my mouth suddenly opened wide as a terrifying black hole that seemed capable of swallowing light formed within my maw. Ultimate divine skill, Void Devour. A massive black gravitational vortex directly enveloped the octopus's remains. Without any suspense, this terrifying energy directly tore this 80-meter-tall rank 7 giant beast to pieces in an instant and swallowed it into my belly. Even the sea surface behind it was sucked dry in a large area by this gravitational force, revealing the deep seabed. The entire scene was dead silent. In the livestream room, billions of viewers watched this miracle-like scene, forgetting even to send comments, until the mist in the sky dispersed, revealing me standing tall in the blood-red sunset. A peerless Titan figure. Ding! Killed rank 7 deep-sea demonic rock octopus. Obtained a massive amount of purification energy. Obtained 1 rank 7 sea beast core. I let out a burp that smelled like seafood. Then I slowly turned around. Those originally violent, cold vertical pupils, when looking at the trembling, yet hopeful humans on the broken bridge, softened once more. I moved my heavy body, approached the school bus hanging in midair, and using my massive snout, gently pushed the school bus back onto the safe bridge surface. Zhang Xuan stared at me blankly, the Iron Man toy in her hand falling to the ground. I flicked my tongue at her, and very stiffly, squeezed out a snake-like smile again. General, Zhang Xuan burst into tears with a wow, reaching out her small hand to touch my giant scales. The next second, the entire Jiangcheng city erupted in cheers loud enough to overturn the sky. We won! We won! Long live the Black Dragon! The general is invincible. Countless people embraced and wept. Chu Pojin was so excited his legs went weak, and he bowed deeply in my direction. Chu Wenchu drove the off-road vehicle, rushing to my feet like crazy. Looking at my body as massive as a mountain, she was both excited and fearful, not daring at all like before, to come up and hug me. I lowered my head, intentionally flicking out my huge snake tongue, messing up her hair completely. You little girl, scared to tears again, I grumbled in my heart. After that battle, Lin Fan, was completely deified. Not just in the 9 provinces, but all of humanity saw me as the only hope against the spiritual key recovery and mutated monsters. To thank me, the military actually went so far as to take a massive artificial island at sea and renovate it for me, covering it with top-tier soft sand airlifted from all over the world, planting it with tropical rainforest vegetation, and even in the center of the island, they built for me a jumbo-sized constant temperature hot spring lake. This is my home now. My daily meals are no longer ordinary mutated beasts, but various high-ranked mutated sea beasts that dared to cause trouble in the offshore waters, all killed by the military and sent to me as snacks. Things like rank 5 deep sea great sharks and rank 6 violent electric eels. Life was so good that I wouldn't trade it for being an immortal. Just like that, on my exclusive super artificial island, one spent a year living a life of luxury and excess. No need to clock in every day. No need to worry about a boss's temper. I only need to open my mouth, and heavy military helicopters would carry high-end seafood and feed it directly into my mouth. This rank 6 deep-sea giant crabs. Crab roe tastes okay. It's just lacking a bit of aged vinegar. I soaked in the constant temperature lake, chewing on a crab shell larger than a truck, while muttering humble brags in my heart. Chu Wenchu, wearing a high-end custom military research uniform, stood in the bulletproof glass corridor, holding a tablet to report to me. Zhao Fan, global mutated creature attacks have dropped by 90% today. With you guarding the Jiangcheng coastline, those sea beasts that have developed intelligence simply don't dare to approach the waters of the 9 provinces. Listen to that. This is what you call status. I, Lin Fan, a mere wage slave in my past life, have now, by my own strength alone, become the stabilizing force for the billions of people in the 9 provinces. Every day on the internet, countless girls are shouting about wanting to have my babies. Ding hosts long-term dominance on global trending lists, accumulated over 50 million admiration points. All attributes passively increasing. Listening to the heavenly voice in my head, I rolled over comfortably, shaking the entire artificial island. Shaking feels great. This life, I wouldn't even trade it with the Jade Emperor. However, just when I thought I could just lie flat like this for the rest of my life, eating seafood, accidents always come so unexpectedly. The piercing highest-level red alert suddenly rang out in my. A warning exploded simultaneously in my mind and across the entire military base. Ultimate warning. Detected deep in the Mariana Trench of the Pacific Ocean. World-ending mutant energy detected. Source creature class assessment. Peak Tier 9 Abyssal Ancient Dragon. Danger assessment. Enough to wipe out Blue Star's surface ecosystem. I suddenly raised my head from the thermos. My 100-meter Titan body sent waves crashing everywhere. Tier 9 peak. I'm only Tier 8 now. Isn't that gap just way too ridiculous? System, are you sure you're not messing with me? Alarm sirens blared outside the base, echoing to the sky. CHU Pojin's holographic projection cut straight onto the command screen of the artificial island. This iron-boned tough guy looked completely pale right now. His hands were trembling. Lin Fan, a catastrophe is happening. The oceanic rift at the center of the Pacific has completely collapsed. An abyssal ancient dragon over 600 meters long burst out. The 3 aircraft carrier fleets of the joint forces didn't last even a minute before it. Total annihilation. It raised a world-ending tsunami 500 meters high. It's advancing at a terrifying speed, heading straight for the east coast of the 9 provinces. The conventional nuclear arsenal has been authorized and unlocked. But in its death field, nukes can't even get close enough to detonate. A 600-meter-long, 500-meter-high tsunami could truly erase the continental shelf. A terrifying natural disaster. All live broadcast channels in the 9 provinces and worldwide have now switched to the satellite feed. On screen, an enormous ancient dragon, its entire body made of ghastly pale bones, with ghostly fire burning in its eye sockets, was rampaging through the ocean center. Each time it flapped its wings, it triggered a Category 12 destructive hurricane. The sense of oppression was simply suffocating. It's truly over for humanity. Countless people knelt and wept in front of their screens. Shu Wanshu was even more anxious, eyes flushed red. He stared at me through the glass, biting his lip, tears streaming down his face. Little Fan, okay, the military has prepared. A doomsday underground city, please evacuate us. You can't beat it. I stared at the big screen, that swaggering Tier 9 ancient dragon. Not only was there no fear in the cold underbrush, but instead an unprecedentedly wild battle intent ignited. I finally made it to the position of Black Dragon, guardian of the nation, enjoying the best treatment in the world. You big bone pile, dare to tip my rice bowl, dare to harm my fans, dare to invade my artificial island. Screw you. Even if you're Tier 9, today I'm taking your bones apart to make soup. Roaring, I raised my head to the sky, letting out an earth-shattering cry of the sky-devouring python. All the bulletproof glass in the base shattered instantly from the sonic blast. I didn't back down, but leaped straight from the artificial island into the sea. Fan, what are you doing? CU Pojin exclaimed. I couldn't speak, but actions mean everything. I gathered all my energy into the seawater and triggered a storm, speeding up fiercely. On the surface, I carved a white trail stretching tens of thousands of meters. Racing at supersonic speed, I charged headlong toward that 500-meter-high tsunami. All viewers online watched this utterly insane spectacle and lost their minds. Holy shit, Snake God is charging. He's heading straight for the tsunami. What the hell kind of legendary story is this? The general is going to fight the apocalypse monster. Black Dragon does not retreat. 9 provinces will not fall. General, charge. A few minutes later, the 500-meter-high black tsunami in the ocean's very center pressed down like a collapsing sky. And at the very peak of the tsunami, that 600-meter-long abyssal, ancient dragon, with ghost fire burning in its eyes, looked down at me coldly. Before it, my 100-meter size was like a toy. An ant dares block me, a tier 9 monster. It could already transmit telepathic brainwaves, mocking me in my mind. Aunt, screw your grandma. I am your ancestor. I cursed it in my heart, never slowing down. System, use all 50 million reputation points I saved this year on lotteries. As long as I can kill him, I'll even give up my underwear. Hating system detected host in a life or death crisis. Initiate do or die ultimate lottery. Crazy lottery in progress. Congratulations, host has acquired passive divine skill, death reversal. Regain 100% status instantly upon fatal injury. And trigger a 10-fold power boost. Congratulations, host has unlocked Bloodline's ultimate awakening. Starry Chaos, Sky-Devouring Dragon Bloodline. Capable of devouring all things. Congratulations, host has acquired active killer move, Chaos Ultimate. Annihilation Strangle. Unleash a world-shattering strike, surpassing your realm. Miracles received. I went completely berserk. Bring it on, I rammed headfirst into that 500-meter tsunami. Boom, the ancient dragon opened its giant mouth of bare bones, blasting me with a bolt of nether death light. Agonizing pain instantly tore through my body. My health dropped like crazy, straight to 0. But with death reversal divine skill, the instant of death, my status soared back to 100. And after the 10-fold power surge, I unleashed a real dragon roar. My massive body, like a bolt of black lightning, smashed right onto its neck bones. So what if it's tier 9? In the water, I Limfan, boss. I opened my blood-red jaws and bit down hard on its gigantic cervical bone. Chaos Ultimate Annihilation Strangle. At that moment, all the world's satellite screens turned white. My internal power exploded instantly to the limit. The entire ocean was like being hit by a 10-megaton nuke. With the terrifying 600-meter-long ancient dragon, I spun out a supersonic death wrestling match in the deep sea, unleashing a rapid death spiral and roll. The water boiled instantly from friction and heat. Huge sections of sea turned to white steam. Undersea volcanoes were triggered directly into eruption by our stranglehold's kinetic force. The abyssal ancient dragon let out a mentally agonizing and desperate howl. It tried to strike me with its bone wings, but it was too late. With a 10-fold power boost from the ultimate stranglehold, even a mythical tier 9 creature couldn't withstand this pure raw force. Crack boom. With a bone-shattering roar that split the ocean, that once invincible, 600-meter-long tier 9 abyssal ancient dragon was finally forced, for real, by my giant python, and torn apart alive. My body was crushed into countless shattered bones. I was drenched in blood. My scales were shattered. I was extremely weak, but I clung to him tightly. That 9th-tier death core filled with immense energy. The crystal core activated its void devour ability directly. I swallowed it in one gulp. Ding, successfully devoured the peak 9th-tier crystal core. Host's physique is undergoing a superdimensional leap. Congratulations, host, your bloodline has achieved ultimate awakening. You've officially evolved into a cosmic-level life form.
Cosmic chaos.
Heaven-devouring dragon, rumbling thunder. The sky changed color. In the shocked gaze of billions worldwide, I embraced my ultimate evolution. My size grew from 100 meters to a terrifying kilometer in an instant. The scales on my back transformed into chaotic dragon scales able to absorb cosmic radiation. 5 claws grew from my abdomen. Jet black and gold dragon horns, symbols of a king of the stars, grew atop my head. Even a single breath could twist the very space around me. I slowly rose to the surface of the sea. My kilometer-tall divine demon form shone under the sunlight, like a true god descending to the world, roaring. I let out a dragon's roar that echoed across the galaxy. The sound was broadcast to every corner of the world through satellites. We won, we won. Our guardian god tore apart the 9th-tier ancient dragon. Nation-defending black dragon, unmatched across the land. Whether it's the supreme commander of Juzhou or the foreign leaders across the ocean, everyone stood up at that moment, paying frantic respects to that divine being on the screen. Saluting with utter reverence, Xuan stood in front of the TV holding up an Iron Man toy, shouting until he went hoarse. Wenchu broke down crying on the floor, laughing and crying at the same time. After that battle, all the mutated creatures on Blue Star felt the terrifying pressure of my cosmic-level might. None dared venture even half a step out of the deep sea again. Humanity finally entered an era of true peace. And I, at the very center of the Pacific Ocean, was granted a Super Platinum Class sea fortress, funded by the world in unity. Every day I feasted on the very finest tributes from across the globe. Ah, invincibility is such loneliness. Another year passed. Idly, I lay on top of my fortress, picking my teeth with a steel rebar dozens of meters long, feeling life has lost its excitement again. Just as I yawned, ready for a nap, the system that had long lain dormant in my mind suddenly chimed crisply.
Ding!
A spatial distortion detected near Pluto's orbit at the edge of the solar system. A cosmic wormhole rift has opened. Cosmic wormhole rift is now active. Detected life forms above Tier 10. Universal ally fleets are approaching Blue Star, attempting interstellar colonization hunting. Host, please be prepared. I was momentarily stunned. Then my massive vertical pupils contracted sharply. The corners of my mouth curled into a cruel and excited grin. My enormous body slowly stood up. A kilometer-long chaotic dragon stretched thunderously between sky and earth, blocking out the sun. I looked up, my gaze seeming to pierce the atmosphere, and stared into the endless depths of cosmic space. Universal ally fleets. Cosmic life forms above Tier 10. I breathed out a huge dragon's tongue and let out a mad, galaxy-shaking laugh. I wonder if these alien sea creatures will taste good grilled with cumin. Looks like Lin Fan's laid-back retirement will have to be pushed back again. Our journey now lies among the stars.